You're listening to the Big Sci-Fi Podcast, a podcast of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. It's season 9 here at the Big Sci-Fi Podcast, and we're excited because 9 comes before 10, which comes before, well, you know what I mean. We're having a blast, still talking about all things science fiction, and this season is set to be our biggest and most epic season yet. We're having more fun than we've ever had, and we invite you to invite all of your friends and tune in each week to new episodes as we explore the cosmos of science fiction. We're getting ready to blast off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Have you ever had that moment where you look at someone and you think, where have I seen that person before? Yet, you are afraid to walk up to them and ask them if they are who you think they might be for fear of embarrassing yourself. Well, as you know, I do volunteer work at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, so do many others that I've come across. And I often speak to the other volunteers, getting to know them and so on. And on one particular day, it was just me and one other person. And I had to walk up to her and say something like, I don't mean to be rude, but you look so much like the actress who plays Pam on the TV series For All Mankind. Well, she had this big smile come across her face, and she said, yep, that is me. And I was so happy. First off, to meet someone who's involved in that TV series, and secondly, not to have embarrassed myself. And as much as I have admiration for the series, and we're so lucky to have interviewed the show's creator, Ronald D. Moore, on a prior episode, that I knew I had to ask her to be on our show. And so here's Pam, I mean Meghan, to discuss her very important character on For All Mankind and to learn more about her life as an actress and her life in general. And all I want to have her do before we get going is to announce that, she's going to be a new mom. So I was happy to have had her as a guest, happy to have her on a guest on the show, but also very happy to have met her when I did. And that's really special. So I'd like to introduce the members of the Big Sci-Fi Podcast, but today there's only Adina and myself. Brian had work to do. And Cris is on his way home, so hopefully he'll join us at some point in the conversation.
Non-fatal transporter malfunction.
No, we do not want him to go.
I said non-fatal.
Like that. You'll come out with like a bug head or something.
His shuttlecraft is experiencing a temporal anomaly or something. It's got to be something more interesting than like the train is backed up.
If only Ortega was commanding it, she'd get it through with no problems. So with that out of the way, let me introduce Meghan Leathers. Meghan, please take the mic.
Hi. Thanks for having me on.
It's really a special pleasure to have you on because, like I said, you see someone on the street and you go, everybody looks like somebody. And I think I told you there was one person at the hospital who is my doppelganger, and way too many people kept asking, are you David? Are you David? David, how are you? And no, I'm not David. I'm Steve. But just so similar. So, but
did you ever find out who David was?
Oh yes, and I actually met him, and I said to him, his name is David Schultz. No, Schmidt. It's gonna be David Schmidt. He won an award, a major award at the hospital. So everybody kept coming up to me saying, hi, David, because I was wearing my mask.
And I'm going, at that point, you just claim it. You're like, yeah, man, I am David.
So then when I met him, I said, people say I look like you. And he goes, no, you don't. and then that very same day, someone came up to me and said, David. And I went, I'm not David. Please tell him that we look alike. Same white beard, same bald head. Anyway, so
I feel like a missed opportunity. If he won a major award, you could have been like, yeah, but I never got the check.
That's what goes with it. Did he have a medal or something
just some award, and then he retired at the end of last year after, believe it or not, 50 years at the hospital.
Or did he? or David the volunteering now.
I am
Around
now.
all the
Yes,
people,
that's right.
getting free
I am.
snacks wherever he goes.
People doesn't know it's
Thanks,
me.
Steve. Lean into it.
Sorry, I'd rather be mistaken for Tom Hanks or something like that, but that's never going to happen either. So Megan, we love origin stories. And so, how did you become an actor? What was your path to For All Mankind?
Yeah. It's funny. It's just something I always kind of did. It growing up, I was a very performative child, I guess. You know, those kids that are always like, look, 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 I have a dance I made up, or here's a song I want to sing, or,
Mm-hmm.
read you my book. That was me. Probably pretty annoying, but I was always really ready for the spotlight and to sort of show off what I'd been cooking on. And then yeah, I just did children's theater growing up, and I went to a bunch of summer camps for theater, and I danced, and I did all the like stage things that you do as a kid and a teen. Um, and then I got ready to go to college, and I looked at conservatories, and I was like, you know, I don't know if I'm ready to. I kind of chickened out. I was like, I'm not sure I want to commit to going for a BFA or a life in the arts when I'm 18. Like I don't think I'm ready for that yet. So I went
Mm-hmm.
to Middlebury College and I tried to major in something that wasn't theater, but I just couldn't help myself. I kept taking acting classes and playwriting classes and directing classes and auditioning for shows, and yeah, I ended up getting a theater degree, a BA.
Mm-hmm.
And I at that point I was like, all right, well, screw it. Like let's just give this a real go. So I moved to New York with my best friend and held a million random jobs. Um, I sold jeans at Bloomingdale's, and I was a nanny, and I was a hostess at a fancy restaurant in Greenwich Village. And what else did I do? I was a backup party princess,
Oh my
which
gosh,
is yeah, I know, which is when
that's
you
a job.
go to a little girl's party dressed as like Anna from Frozen and
Okay.
sing a song, or the Little Mermaid and sing a song. But I was like on their B list because I'm just an
Mm-hmm.
okay singer. Uh, but yeah, those are the kind of I catered as all sorts of things. And did some shows and did some readings, but I still was like, I think I need more training. I got to figure this out. And I couldn't, I didn't, I had an agent, but he wasn't a very good one, all due respect. And so I was like, I need a little bit more community here. So I auditioned for 3 grad programs. I got in and I went to one, Brown Trinity Rep, and I got my MFA. And
Mm-hmm.
coming out of my MFA, I met up with my manager who came to see a show my 3rd year, and we have been working together ever since. And yeah, it was the best thing I could have done because it just sort of put me on a path to For All Mankind and everything that came after. And yeah, it's a long-winded way of saying like I couldn't help myself. I always just had this like calling to be an artist and a performing artist. It always felt right, even though my brain was like, this is not a stable career path necessarily. My
Mm-hmm.
heart was like, it just beat for it. So,
Mhm.
and my gut was like, go, go, go. So I went, and that's my origin story.
Now,
Excellent.
you were on the East Coast for how long? And then when did you move out back to the West Coast again?
Yeah, I did not become a West Coaster until after COVID. All of from for I think almost all of shooting For All Mankind, they flew me out from New York. So I was commuting to film For All Mankind.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
how did you audition for that from New York or?
yeah, I auditioned. So that was a crazy story. So I graduated from my grad program in 2018 and I did a show and I had met my manager and we had started working together and he started putting me out on auditions. And they were really great, interesting auditions.
Mhm.
So I was doing a show in Boston, a theater show, a play, and I auditioned for this new network, Apple TV. It
Mm-hmm.
was new. We all like knew what it
Mhm.
was because it was Apple, and they had like 5 shows on the docket. So it was this new show on this new network, and it was a smaller guest recurring role for a bartender named Pam.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent in a tape and I didn't hear back from a month for about a month, so I kind of let it go. And then I heard back that I was pinned, and which means they're like, keep this, don't go anywhere, basically.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then I heard that I was a little bit more than pinned. I was like on hold, and then I had a deal, but it wasn't finalized. And I kind of just waited with bated breath. And then all of a sudden I got the call saying, all right, you're cast. So
Well,
they will fly you out in 2 weeks and you'll stay for 2 weeks and then they'll fly you back and then they'll fly you back when they need you again. And that's how it
Wow.
started. So it was pretty soon after I graduated, like a few months that I booked this role that changed my life.
so was that 2019 or when was that?
I think it was 2018. I think it was
2018. Okay.
August of 2018 because yeah, I was wrapping up that summer play after
Mm-hmm.
I graduated, and we started production in the fall.
So how much
Wow.
so for what we have seen on screen so far, how much did you know about the role or how much was it developed?
I knew nothing.
Hmm.
I knew I was a bartender. That's it.
Hmm.
Nothing. And I'm not sure they even really knew where Pam was gonna go. Like
Hmm.
the Jody Pam love affair,
Hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
do not think was in the cards in the initial development of that character. I think
Yeah.
that's something this show, they have a grand outline for this show.
Hmm.
But I think I my sense, and I don't want to like speak for the writers
Hmm.
and
Sure.
creators, but
Yeah.
my sense is that they have this sort of intuitive sense that they see what the actors are bringing to the characters
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
sort of adjust and develop. And they're very flexible in the development of each character's arc to a
Hmm.
certain point.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of perhaps not in the like actual like plot and logistics of like where the show is going in like an alternative history way, but
Hmm.
in terms of like what actors are sort of pinging and sparking off each other and
Right.
what actors are like, what are they bringing to a role that is like sparkly and then they might develop that further, which I think is part of the genius of the writing behind the show is it's really personal and this big sci-fi adventure.
Hmm.
What sort of grabs, I think, what distinguishes the show and grabs viewers is that it has this deeply personal element,
Yeah.
where each character is a flawed, complicated human that is just sort of existing in this grand arc that spans decades.
Hmm.
And how we sort of, it's a way that we can look as an audience in this like macro zoomed out way into these really zoomed in personal lives.
Hmm.
Um, and in the way we can like look at history over long swaths of time, but feel really connected to each character as a person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant. It's brilliant of the writers and creators to sort of give us both of those tastes, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I hear you're saying, and as someone who, so I work my day job, I work in the aerospace industry. I work in the space industry.
Yeah.
And I remember when the show came out and hearing some people like, "Hey, Adina, you need to see this. This is really interesting because
Mm-hmm.
it's it's their industry. But I was a holdout for a while because, yet another streaming platform and everything's. But once I got
it's
into
annoying. You're like another subscription. Like, my God, like how many do I need?
Yes. But at this point, I mean, like Apple can have like all my money because they've got like the most amazing content, especially for like a science fiction person. So once I eventually got Apple and I watched it, I binged it all the way through, and then had to wait for season 4, and then caught up on got all that through. But I think you're right because again, while I came to it for I want to see the space stuff.
Yeah.
It's compelling because of the stories of the characters, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun that it's a clash of two big ideas where it's just like a human drama meets like a sci-fi, not quite sci-fi, but like an alternate history space extravaganza.
But yeah. Alternate history and sci-fi. It is definitely because it's future, because at least, we did jump into the future.
Yeah. And I also think though, perhaps it's not that big of a departure because I think a lot of sci-fi, like a part of the draw there is that it's always sort of grounded in this like emotional human reality. Like I actually don't hate me, but I haven't watched Andor. I'm like one of the few people who hasn't, but what I've heard from it is that it's really about war and conflict and people
and the same thing, the personal characters. They develop these interesting characters that over the 2 seasons are really fleshed out. Now, much like Adina, we had on our show Mike and Denise Okuda, who were technical directors for All Mankind, when we were talking about their time in Star Trek. And so at one point, I think it was Denise said, you guys have got to be watching this new TV series that we're technical directors on for All Mankind. It is unbelievable. And I hadn't done it because just like Adina, it's like another $10. Okay. But then we were going to have
another $10. It's more that it's just yet another like login and password and app.
Yeah. So when we were going to have them on the series, on the show again, it was to talk about this series. So put my money down, started watching the series, and it was one of those, I got to watch the next episode. Where are they going? What's happening? Because, being a child of the 60s, I was there when they landed on the moon. I was there to see all that development into it, to see these. So these characters were fleshed out and they were real. They seem so plausible. They seem so acceptable. They're so well written, so well acted through, and watching them progress through the 4 decades that the series does. It's amazing.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Yeah, there's a 5th season coming up that they're working on right now, which, excuse me, which, Denise and Mike are working on as well as technical directors for it. And their job, was like, this has to be, this is all science fiction, but it's science fiction based on reality, on fact, and people
This is classically hard science fiction, where it really is an extension of, it's very grounded in what we know. So this is absolutely hard science fiction.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of consultants come in and make sure that everything was realistic. And like they had real astronauts on set come in and be like, that's, and give actors notes, but also like props and design notes and costume and just tweaking and being like, this is how it really is, or it really was, or how it goes now. And even like the command center, that I don't even know if it's called the command center, but that like main room at NASA,
mission
control center. We call it it's just mission control center.
Definitely know, but most of my scenes were like in the bar. But we would go in, and it's to scale. It's this huge room in the middle of the Sony lot in a warehouse that you're walking through a warehouse and you open a door and all of a sudden you're at NASA in the 60s and you're like, what the hell? Like, how did
Yeah.
you do this? It's incredible to be a part of this giant machine where the attention to detail and the specificity, they wanted it so right because they wanted to serve the story and have that flexibility to sort
Mhm.
of depart where they could because it was so on the nose and so accurate
Yeah.
in the way that it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Really cool.
and that's the beauty of the show, and that's what makes it so, So I watched all 4 seasons,
Yeah.
and then it was all done. I turned to my wife. I said, "I feel guilty. I watched this. You really should have watched it." So I watched it one more time with her. So I've seen the series twice, all the way through. And even so, there were scenes that I knew about or looking forward to seeing, and then others that were like, oh, I forgot how good that was.
Mhm.
Because it's such a memorable, such a wonderful
Mhm.
show that you can watch it again and
Mhm.
now notice little nuances you didn't pick up the first time.
Mhm.
Whereas your character was so grounded on Earth. And
Yes.
and again, I didn't see the development between her and the character of Ellen developing until it developed.
Mhm.
And they brought you back. Your character returned. Your character left. Your character came back.
Yep.
And one of the last scenes on the last episode of, I think it was season 3, is where Ellen is with you as a character.
Yeah.
And it was so believable and it was so well done. And the way that they took your character from being a lowly little bartender in a crummy little place in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
Crummy. I think the people there would have, I don't know, had a few things to
When
say
it
about
first
that.
started off, it was an astronaut's dive, okay?
Right, but in like the best way possible, you know?
It was
But
smoky, I'll tell you that. There was a lot of smoke that they pumped in. That was like,
did they ever force you to eat the spaghetti or not?
no, I mean the people were eating in meals or in scenes with meals, but I
Oh,
don't think I ever had to, which
okay. But that was, and then they took your character
yeah.
and they made her more of an intellectual.
Yep.
And that was really well done. That you became yeah, you. Here we
Yeah.
go. Your character became an author and a writer and that was really a nice development as opposed to just leaving your character where it was.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean where it's like the writers it seemed had a real willingness if not an appetite for flexibility in terms of like where can this go and who can this person be and how can we in a way that felt very real because people in the world develop and change and
Mm-hmm.
someone in their early 20s who's a bartender. I mean, as someone, like I said, who was running around New York as a jean salesman and hostess at a Greenwich Village restaurant, I was an actress, like Pam's a bartender, but she's a poet. And
Mm-hmm.
the way you get to zoom out and then zoom back in 10 years later, season 2, she's a whole new person. She's gone to grad school. She's a teacher. She's a writer. She's a published author. She's an artist. And I think that is so real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mhm.
also real the way people sort of come in and out of your life and they
Mm-hmm.
float in and out and reappear and disappear. And perhaps now more than ever with social media, people will just pop up and be like, hey, but back then it was more magical when someone came back into your life or
Mhm.
someone, you got a piece of mail, a book of
Yeah.
poetry
Yeah.
with a page doggy ear saying, this one's about you, baby. Like it's, those things happen. And they're kind of like the tasty parts of life that you think about
Mhm.
and make like the journey special in that where you're like, wow, I can't believe that person came back in and I wasn't expecting that. And I'm so glad they did. And it meant so much, or it reminded me of this other part of my life that I thought was gone, you know? it's magical, but it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what gives the show so much heart. And it truly was like such a incredibly special gift for me to have that be my first like jump into television into,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd done lots and lots of theater, but to have this role where I got to play a character who evolved over a long period of time
Mm-hmm.
with another person, Ellen, Jodie Balfour,
Mhm.
and the way they sort of fell into each other despite all the ways they sort of tried to keep themselves apart because of
Mm-hmm.
the way history is, and their separate lives. Jodie's character, Ellen, being an astronaut and public figure and
And a
wanting to
president of the United
fly,
States.
president of the
Mhm.
United States,
Yeah.
eventually, and wanting, and also her character being a little more reserved and hidden and secretive and private.
Mm-hmm.
My character who was wanting to live an authentic life and not hide and lean into who she knew she was.
Mm-hmm.
And them sort of meeting in the middle after sort of orbiting around each other. Like, what an incredible gift for a young
Mhm.
actor to be
Mm-hmm.
able to jump
Mhm.
into that. Like, I look back and I'm like, oh my God, like that was so like such a wild ride, but so fun and so meaningful and such a good learning experience. Like you don't, that's an opportunity you don't really get as an actor
Mhm.
to have that time and space to figure a character out and develop it. It was great. So yeah, lucky.
Did it feel weird to get aged up a little bit? Not that it was
Yes, it
like
did.
significant, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It was kind of it was fun because we went we went to a special effects studio and they did a great job. And it
Mhm.
was really fun actually. They
Mhm.
wrap your whole head in like plaster and wax. They basically like mummify your face
Mhm.
to create the prosthetics because they
Mhm.
create a cast of your face and then they build the prosthetic on top of the cast
Mhm.
and then they put the prosthetic on your actual skin on the day of the shoot. Um, but it was strange to look
Mhm.
into what I may look like in the
Yeah.
future.
In 20 years. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Um, but it was, I mean, the process itself was very cool. The actual look of it, I was like, oh my God, this is jarring.
Mhm.
But interesting, but definitely weird for sure.
Yeah.
So,
It seems like, again, you weren't into the fourth season, but when Joel is in the last fourth season, I mean, they made his character look
Mhm.
old,
yeah, they
you
got
know?
him.
Mhm.
He is old in the fourth
Mhm.
season.
I
Mhm.
mean, really, and they just, I mean,
Mhm.
they really, and that's part of the makeup work. Kept looking
Yeah.
and going, God, this is great makeup work. And I never really, maybe because I watched it and I saw you grow older and it only seemed natural that
Mhm.
it wasn't as, wow,
Sorry.
as they
Yeah.
did with Joel in the fourth season, or with she played the main character. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on.
Are you talking about
Oh,
Margot?
Ren. Yeah, Ren's character. Yeah, Margot, when she's in Russia and she's like, oh, she's all really
Mhm.
hunched over and
She's
walking
really
with
old,
in
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that is great on their part for the amount of work they had to do to play that role and
Yeah.
be that character to age 40 years in 4 years,
Yeah.
and you aging 30 years in only 3 years, but
Mhm.
it seemed more transitional with you and seemed more
Mhm.
natural.
I mean it was less of a I gotta sort of pop in and out and it was less of a swing and I didn't have to get as old. But
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean this like the character work on this show and the collaboration between like the visual effects artists,
Mm-hmm.
so the people doing the prosthetics, the makeup artists, people taking care of wigs, costuming, like it's like we had like fat pads on us to give us
Mhm.
extra weight here, there, and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like the artistry of that combined with the actors sort of leaning into like, okay, how do I age myself up physically, but also like emotionally and mentally behind this character? Like, how do I, at some point, we're all acting older than we are.
Mhm.
And like, what is, it's
Just pretend you're in physical pain at all times.
You're actually tired.
Yes, you're tired and in physical pain. There you go.
Yeah.
You're 30 years older than you are.
But the collaboration between
Mhm.
those two sides is, I mean, it's really pretty cool and impressive, I think, to watch everyone else do their thing and
Yeah.
Mhm.
experiment and figure out how to make it plausible and believable
Yeah.
Mhm.
in a
So now,
close
Did
are
up.
you
you?
someone who has
Oh, go ahead.
watched the
Yeah.
whole series yourself? Do you like when it comes out? Do you watch it?
I have watched almost all of it. It takes me a while because
Mhm.
I'm in it.
Well, that was
I'm
going to be
one
my
of
next
those
part question.
weirdos
Is
who's
right.
like, I like to create a little healthy distance for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Especially if it's like if when we were filming, I wouldn't want to watch myself doing the previous season,
Mhm.
Okay.
because it's distracting,
Okay.
Okay.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you one of the actors who just have a don't enjoy seeing yourself or just like a little weirded out about seeing or hearing yourself?
Definitely, definitely. It's
Mhm.
like, it's like when you listen to your voicemail on your phone
Mhm.
and oh my God, like, do I sound like
Yes.
that? It's that, but like your whole being making like big choices, like it's just
Mhm.
like, oh my God. But it's different. I did a show called Partner Track for Netflix a few years ago that was so fun and special, and it only got one season, which is so sad,
Mm.
uh, because it was a cool, hilarious, weird show. But I played this kook, like an absolute nut, and I had a much easier time watching that because I played such a big character.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
For All Mankind, it's very you hold it. It's Pam is held very close, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a little more personal to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, yeah. But like, if I'm playing this like asshole DJ idiot, like I can watch that. It's funny. It's like, okay, you
That's a
know.
So then
stretch. So
let me
okay.
bring up another show that you're in, even though it was not sci-fi, because
Sure.
I loved the show. Kevin Can F Himself.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I binged that one so quick. Like it was over between Christmas and New Year's.
Yep.
And I always have a show. I call it, and actually For All Mankind is also this. I call it my treadmill show.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not allowed to watch it unless I'm on the treadmill.
Yep.
And so most shows, I'll get an episode a day, maybe two if I'm really feeling like, whatever. I think I got like 4 episodes of the Kevin show like in one day, and I was dying, like my legs hurt too much to like continue. I just loved that show so much. I needed to get through it as quickly as possible. It's great.
Is that on Netflix or where
It
was it?
was
That
developed for AMC Plus, but Netflix picked it up
yeah.
recently. So you can find
Okay.
Yeah.
it on Netflix
I
now.
have to
Yeah.
give
I'm
that.
pretty sure I watched it on Netflix. Pretty
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show was so great. That show was
Mhm.
so fun to do. Steve, so the premise of that show is that it's a woman, it starts in a sitcom world with a woman and her sort of schlubby, kooky husband, Kevin. And it's kind of like Everybody Loves Raymond, or it really took off after the show Kevin Can Wait, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, but and he's kind of giving her a hard time, and she's the laundry, whatever, and is like, it's frazzled, and she's the aggrieved wife, and he's the funny guy. And she exits to the kitchen, and the show switches from a multicam sitcom into a single cam, and all of a sudden we're looking at her POV. And she is so over it, and she's so tired. And she just is like, Kevin can go fuck himself. Like, yes. Sorry to curse, but
No, it's
that's
okay.
That's okay.
that's
Yep.
what it is. And it's a look at sort of a marriage and gender dynamics
Mhm.
within a marriage, and a look at this woman who is just, what if we pivoted into the sitcom wife and
Mm-hmm.
looked at her brain of what is actually going on in these like
Mm.
haha 90s comedies goofy scenes, and like, is the husband that funny in his sort of ineptitude?
Hmm. And I
Or is
loved
he
how they like,
annoying?
yeah, eat like all the characters that revolved around Kevin, kind of like one by one, they would get sucked into the wife's POV and then be part of that, like be part of that. And it was just kind of, as the series went on, just more and more people would kind of like, I guess, wake up
Yeah,
and see Kevin for the jerk he
yeah,
he
he was
was. Yeah,
horrible,
yeah,
horrible.
yes.
The actor who played him is wonderful,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it was super fun. But we filmed it like in the heart of COVID.
Oh, wow.
So
Mm.
it's a small closed set, a lot of COVID testing, but like they kept it pretty tight in terms of cast and crew, so no one got sick. It was very safe.
Mhm.
But because of that, there was like a big sense of camaraderie, and
Mm-hmm.
it was
Mhm.
really fun. It was like great vibes on set.
Mhm.
Um, Things moved really fast
Mhm.
and like quick and dirty, and it was just that was a really, really fun one to do.
Were you
Yeah.
filming that concurrently with For All Mankind or
I guess
afterwards? Or
I guess I was. I don't think filming ever overlapped. Um, let's see. I have to go back. I filmed Kevin, I think in 2020 and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It wrapped, and after it wrapped, that's when I moved to LA.
Okay.
Um, and For All Mankind is like they'd give me a call and I'd be like, okay, I'm coming. So I never
Mhm.
had to. For All Mankind, I kind of popped in and out
Okay.
that because that was Pam. She kind of popped in and out of the story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I was ever like on a plane here, there, everywhere to get to different sets.
Because Kevin was filmed out here on the West Coast as well.
No, Kevin was filmed in Boston, where I'm
Oh,
originally.
okay.
Yeah, so that was
You
also
just take the
special.
train, or they fly you as
I
well?
I took the train. I would take the train and they'd house me. Um, but it was special because yeah, it was set in Worcester and I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So that was like
Well,
really
that's wicked nice to know.
yeah, we do
Ah,
say
sorry.
wicked. We do say wicked. Whenever
Oh,
I'm home, it comes back.
uh-huh. That's
Yep, I know
okay.
that.
Yep.
I'm from Long Island, and so
Oh,
whenever
yep.
yep,
Go
And
little
home and
south.
it peters out. Yeah.
Does
yeah,
it
and
does.
I was born in Jersey, so you can't get it out of your voice. You know what I mean?
Oh, East
It's
Coasters
there. It's
here.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yes, we all are. Though I left in 1960, so that was a
Oh,
long time ago.
yeah.
Yes, but so again, when you got the role of playing Pam,
Yeah.
did you know it was going to be for 3 seasons, or did
Oh,
they? How did that work? Or did they like say, "We really liked you. We're bringing you back for season two. Oh, and you're really great. We're going to develop the character. You're going to be back for season three. So make yourself available."
it was more that. It was more it was more like whenever I got a call being like you're going back again. I'd be like, "Amazing. Let's go." Um
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have like a series regular set contract that had me like locked in for 7 years. I sort of just kept coming back and sort of became a part of the little For All Mankind family. But no, I thought I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I
Okay.
From the first, it was really halfway through filming the first season that the love affair between Pam and Ellen was written, and that was a surprise. I got the script, I read it, and I was like, "Excuse me?" It was news to me, and I was thrilled. I was like, "I get a romantic arc? Like, let's go!" You
Mhm.
know, it was the best news I could have hoped for. So I was pretty jazzed. And then the way season one wrapped up, it really could have gone either way. So
Mm-hmm.
season two, I got a call saying Pam's coming back, and I was thrilled.
That's
But I was
great.
just sort of taking things. as they come, as is the actor's way. We're very zen.
So when season 3 wrapped and they said the character was done, did they say that to you? Thank you very much. It's been a wonder having you on the series, or were you
Uh,
hoping that they bring her back some way for seasons 4?
no, I knew that I knew it was done. They never say it's done, but I knew Jodie and I were both sort of like our characters were moving on.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, I think, moving on. And I don't want to speak for her, but like I think I had a sense of like it was they were wrapping it up intentionally,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and giving them a happy ending, which for a queer love affair is rare in television. So it was a very intentional and thoughtful wrap up in a series of so many heartbreaks.
Yeah.
This was like their little gift of this is going to be nice. Like after all we've put these two through,
Mm-hmm.
characters through, we're going to give them a happy ending and put a
Yeah.
nice bow on it
Nice.
and make it beautiful.
It
Um,
was. It was just absolutely fair. I mean, the moment where, like she walks away from Ellen and leaves her, like, no, no, they're supposed to be together. And then at the end, when she chooses her character chooses, it's like that was really just beautiful. And I do miss you not being on in the fourth season, but
I miss
you
it too.
made you had such a wonderful to be able to have a character developed in that way and to progress as they do doesn't often happen.
Yeah.
Usually they're very
Mhm.
static. They're the same character through all the seasons, but they really gave you a chance because of the decades going by
Yeah.
to develop that.
Mhm.
Yeah, the gratitude I feel towards the writers and producers is it can't be expressed. Like it
Yeah.
just they took such a chance
Well,
on me and my character and gave me such an incredible opportunity that not only was interesting but and like a gift to learn, but it was also so fun and rewarding.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't say enough, like what a pleasure that
Mhm.
experience was. It was so special. And just cast crew top to bottom it
Yeah.
was such a cool production
Yeah.
of geniuses, like genius
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
level people and all, like they really got like creme de la creme in every department.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite the experience for sure.
Yeah. Well, we,
Yeah.
we were very lucky to have Ronald Moore on the show to
Yes.
talk about that. And just because the show it's that complex
Hmm.
Mhm.
because of they built a future that doesn't exist,
Yeah.
but could have existed if certain things happen. And I think they did it made it very plausible,
Mhm.
Oh, Ted Kennedy becomes president of the United States? Who saw that coming?
I think that the jumping decades between seasons, that is part of the magic of the show because it
Yeah.
gives you so much room to grow in a way that you can't do if you're just going year by year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can really see real growth in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
society, in the
Mm-hmm.
technology, in the characters. Which you can't do if you're just, if a 5 year show just spans 5 years of time, it's not, there's some limits on that.
It's
Mm-hmm.
major world building,
Yeah, like
Yes,
yes.
exactly, exactly. But
established,
still
and like
taking real events. I
yes.
mean, the Oklahoma City bombing was depicted at
Mhm.
the Johnson Space Center. I
Yeah.
thought that was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do something like that, but so well done and so developed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like with so many other TV series, when the character's done, they kill them off.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, 24 was known that, when you were done, I mean, you were dead. You
Mhm.
you you died.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to see your and Jodie's character.
Cody and I made it out alive.
You made it out alive. You weren't Molly. You didn't die in the explosion.
Oh,
You
like
weren't you weren't
original season
the
one. Everyone
you,
was.
I
Murdered.
even I even said to Ron, I went, you killed off two of the greatest characters at the end of season two. You
Oh, but
know, I mean,
so good. It's so kill those darlings. You know what I mean? You gotta.
yeah,
Not all of them. You can't do all of them.
Can't do all of
yeah,
them, but it's brave. It's a big swing to do that, and I
it
think
does. Yeah,
I mean, people still talk about it. That's the whole point. It's just
yeah.
like how, and it's like that's how because you're still talking about it.
Hmm.
That's
You
right,
Hmm.
and that's
felt
really
that
well.
hurt.
And that's why it was so nice to see your character survive. You know, even if you went off into the sunset, you could have been on two horses riding off, you know,
Hmm.
at the end, and that would have been fine, you know. But they ended it beautifully at the door, at the front door, and
Yes,
that's really
and
classy.
Ellen being the brave one and being like, you know what, I'm gonna. Which, oh gosh, I mean, talk about not to like, but a president being brave and making a big personal stand,
Yeah,
like, wow, refreshing.
I
Like
mean,
you just,
when you did a role, when you did those moments, you had to well up an emotion
Mm,
that was purely manufactured,
yeah,
but you had to make it real. That had to make the viewer feel like this person is really going through this, and that to me is
Acting.
amazing. That's the
That's
amazing thing
acting.
for us who aren't actors
Yes. Yeah.
but play
Yes.
real
Yes.
people in real
Yes.
lives.
Yes.
That is really amazing stuff. I mean, whenever I see an actor start to cry on set, I'm going, how do they do that? How do they well up that emotion that, you know, for all the rest of us, we have to think about something or experience, you know, remember a tragic moment to maybe, you know,
yeah,
remind, you know, reveal that emotion.
for sure. I think in some cases it's definitely a little more challenging, but for all mankind for this show, like I said, it's just been such the development of the characters is so specific and so
Hmm.
intentional and so in step with the what the actors are bringing to the roles
Hmm.
that it just you can't help but feel those things
Yeah.
and feel like oh my God, like here she is. Like I can't believe it. Like we did those scenes and it was takes place over 30 years and we just did it in 3 years, 3 seasons,
Hmm.
I guess like four. But that's a long time to sit with a character and sit with
Yeah.
a relationship with another actor. I mean, the incredible Jodie Balfour, who
Yeah.
had such depth in Ellen. And like that relationship is real too. Jodie, like between Jodie and I,
Mhm.
and how we sort of met as actors to develop these two characters. It gets to the point where it starts to feel um uh natural to feel big feelings about
Hmm.
Mhm.
where these two meet.
Hmm.
It's precious and it's special.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it just didn't feel it felt very personal in a way that is obviously not true to me
Hmm.
or her, but like we were part of the development of this story. So
Hmm.
it felt personal to like be a part of the conclusion of that development
Mhm.
and that story. Um, and yeah, not a big lift. When the writing is good, you don't have to do too much. Like
Yeah,
you
that
just
is so
have to feel
true.
it. You just have to let it happen.
Even the
So
best actor given the worst lines is gonna just die. I mean, it doesn't matter,
it
you know?
makes it very hard. So,
Yeah.
but that was not the case here. It's
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff to work with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it was just fun to sit with and
Yeah.
Nice.
explore. Yeah.
So really, as a sidebar, you appeared in this one little movie and you only for a little tiny bit, and I still couldn't find
Yeah.
you in it, but Don't Look Up.
Yes.
So you were on set with Jennifer Lawrence and you were on set with Leonardo DiCaprio, and that must have been kind of cool at that.
Oh
You
my
didn't ask for an
God.
autograph, did you?
No, no, I would say cooler than that.
Okay.
Um, no, that was a real trip though, because that was filmed in the heart of COVID, like
Mhm.
pre-vaccine, and Netflix was so responsible. So to the point of I they put me, I had one day on set. It was all day. It was a big, because it was a big scene that got cut down. But I was on set for a full day. And so leading up to it, Netflix put me in a hotel room for 10 days to make sure that I was not.
You got
Wow.
quarantined for 10 days before it was shooting was ready to
Yep.
go? Oh
I
my
think it was supposed to
gosh.
be a week and then shooting got pushed. So it was over Thanksgiving. I spent Thanksgiving in this hotel room. Um, and it was so crazy because I would get like 10,000 steps in just by pacing the the room.
You
My
felt
I knew another actress in it. She brought like an air bike
Hmm.
and was just
uh-huh.
pedaling like a maniac. And I watched a million movies and TV shows and just had 10 days to think about how I was going to be on set with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence and
Hmm.
properly spiral and then unspiral and then spiral again.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then we got to set and it was so fun. It was Adam McKay. I mean, God, like legendary
Hmm.
director.
Yeah,
And
no, that
um yeah, we got all the coverage and then played around a little bit and it was what was best about it was seeing Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence be so good, like so
uh-huh.
Hmm.
good, so professional, so prepared, flexible, improvisational,
Hmm.
Hmm.
kind. Um, you always, don't meet your heroes because, there's always that fear of, ooh, are you going to be who I hope?
Hmm.
And they
Yeah,
were, they were wonderful.
Nice.
that's
So
great.
that was really kind of like a radical experience.
Was that the most A-list actors you were ever working with, or you other
Yes,
ones?
I mean Leonardo DiCaprio.
I
Who
know.
that?
And he's so good in it. He's so natural. He's like it's not over the top.
Hmm.
He is real. It's an amazing movie. So
Yeah,
Yes.
Dina's
So
seen
if
it.
folks
I've
have
seen
not
it.
seen that yet, it's been out for a
Oh,
couple years.
oddly
Just be prepared
prescient.
for the existential crisis that comes after.
it
Yeah,
it
it keeps hitting in different ways,
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of the
unfortunately.
most beautiful end of the world scenes of all time.
I
And it's
agree.
just a beautiful, yeah. So to be a part of it, it's, just a little stamp. You're in there, like you said, I got a little tiny role. It's almost a cameo
Yeah,
wrote to me. And I'm going, no, it's not because of who you were with.
yeah,
So,
no, it was the whole thing between the quarantine and the people I was working with. It was wild. And then
mhm.
they let me free and it was like Christmas 3 days later. It was just like,
Mhm.
what
Oh
is going
my
on?
gosh.
Yeah. It was
Did they say like it's a wrap and get out of here with your mask on? Thank you so much. Or it's
kinda,
like,
yeah. They were like, all right,
okay,
you can go. And I was like, where
I've
do
been released.
I go?
Prison is over with.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Wow.
it was crazy, but it was really, I mean, that's showbiz, baby, you
I
know?
know. So right now you're kind of in between stuff
Yes.
and your intention is to get back to acting at some
Yes.
point in the future.
Yes, as soon as I possibly can. I obviously I am pregnant, due any
Yay.
day.
Mhm.
And
Exciting.
You could have played a pregnant mom in a movie. I mean,
I
that would
could have, but there's not that
have.
many pregnant moms in movies. And
I know. They
actually,
always they always put the prosthetic on to make the actress look like she's pregnant. You could have been
Well, because
the role.
timing.
I mean, but also sets need to take out an extra insurance policy for pregnant people on
Oh,
set.
really?
So they often don't. This is something I've learned is that
Hmm.
Oh.
they'll often just slap on a prosthetic belly because
Hmm.
it's less expensive to
Then
pull
carry
off.
the insurance. Wow.
I know, yeah, to be a woman in the arts. So um, there I have been doing just readings and stuff instead, which has been actually really great and fun for plays and stuff in LA. And then promoting, if I can do a quick plug,
No,
a
please. We
film.
wish. this is what you're here to do. Please,
Well,
please.
there's a film, an independent film called Bad Shabbos that I filmed a few years ago. And it won the audience award at Tribeca Film Festival last year.
Wow.
And it's now in a extended theatrical run all around the US. And it keeps popping up in more and more theaters because it's this funny little family comedy with a ton of heart and featuring Kira Sedgwick and Method Man, who are both hysterical,
Hmm.
among others, like myself. It's a true ensemble.
I'm IMDbing right now. What is the movie
So
called
so
again?
my bad Shabbos.
At Shabbos.
So
And
it
it's,
lists it. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to read. It just says an engaged interfaith couple are about to have their parents meet for the first time over a Shabbat dinner when an accidental death gets in the way.
Yes. And I
Okay,
am one of the engaged people in that.
you,
So,
you're living my life because I'm Jewish and my wife is Episcopalian,
yes.
and we ended up eloping because of the friction that was all going on because of
Really?
that.
That
Oh,
Yes.
so it's that's a major
yep. That
that
is,
comes up in the film.
yeah. So my parents are now divorced and my father has since passed, but my parents also, my mother was Jewish and my father was Catholic.
Mhm.
And while they had no problems reconciling it, other extended family
Mm-hmm.
had issues reconciling
Yeah.
That's
this.
Yeah.
very, very much this film. It's the couple is good, but the
Mhm.
family is having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very, very goofy. It's like a true farce because
I'm
there's a
in.
dead body thrown into the
I
mix
I've
that
got to
happens right at the beginning of the movie, so it's not giving anything away.
yeah.
Um, but it's playing at theaters all over the country. I believe it will come to a streamer sometime in the fall. That's what I've been hearing.
Oh, wonderful.
Um, so hopefully it will pop up on one of those pesky streamers
Yeah.
come
Mm,
October, November, December.
okay.
But yeah, but I've been doing press for that. So that's really all I've been up to. But
Mm-hmm.
hopefully once my child arrives, I will be right
Mm-hmm.
back at it auditioning again because I miss it. I love acting, if you can't tell
Mm-hmm.
from my many monologues about how much I love
Mhm.
acting in this interview.
But that's what's great because you shouldn't disappear from acting. You shouldn't
No,
retire at this point. You've got so much more, and
no,
this
no,
is
no. I
really
don't
good.
plan on it.
It's
Yeah. If you love it, if you're passionate
4.2
about it.
stars. Yeah, I mean, really cool.
Yeah,
That's great. When
yeah.
did you film that one?
A couple of years ago, I think
Okay.
2022, 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, I forget. I mean, that's the thing, because it was an indie, it takes a long time to just get it finished. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
funding, it's not studio backed. Um, but yeah, it's a funky, funny little movie.
And it's a
And
good length at just about 90 minutes.
just
That's
about it's a
if you
tight
get the story
90.
done, boom, you should get it done well.
But it's been fun to see it. We made it in like 3 weeks in one apartment in New York City in Manhattan on the Upper West Side. A year and a half later, it won a huge festival. Tribeca won the audience award.
That's great.
Year after that, it's in theaters nationwide. Like it's fun to see this small indie that we made on a shoestring budget, really, really fast, with, a really stellar cast, but like, no budget, no backing, no distributor. It's just been chugging along and succeeding and maybe making people laugh and becoming successful on the merit of its own artistry. It's really it's really
Yeah,
incredible to see it develop in that way. So that's been fun. That's been
that's
gratifying.
great. No,
Yeah, and that's
I am
exciting to know
looking
that.
forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exciting to know that an indie film can have that happen.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the hopefully we have a rise of the indie films once again, like we
Yeah.
did,
Well,
I guess, the
there's
early 2000s.
there's been so many come out as of late that are so good.
Right.
and you have major actors. There's one I was on the plane watching with Michael McKean, not Michael, excuse me, the guy who played Batman, Michael, who played Beetlejuice,
Keaton?
Oh, Michael
Mike.
Keaton. Yeah.
Michael Keaton, where he plays a father who owns an art gallery that's dying, and it was just fantastic. So these indie films make a they're what people go to want to see,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's the big budget ones, the superhero films, Superman and so on, that get all the big bucks. But it's the indie ones that give life to. It's what cinema's all about. It's funny. There was I don't know if you've seen the TV show The Studio.
Yes.
Okay, it's just that whole concept of I want to make a great film, but I also have to make a stupid movie about the Kool-Aid man, because that's where the money is. It's not in the small budget one. So,
Mhm.
um, I'm thank you for sharing that with us. We would have not
Mhm.
known about it
Well,
Yeah.
without you
thanks for
doing that.
letting
So
me
hopefully,
plug it real quick.
absolutely. No,
Go check it out, everyone. Bad Shabbos. Go see it.
great. Anything else, Adina, for Megan here? And I'm sorry, Megan, but I inadvertently always say Pam. Ever on that? I said like, oh, we're gonna have Pam on later. My wife goes, no, it's Megan. I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It means I was convincing. So I'm
You were
glad.
extremely. And one other question: am I the only person who said, "Hey, were you in that TV show For All Mankind," or have other people come up to you and said that as well?
You are not alone. It's funny. It will just be once in a while, someone will be like, I was on vacation with my husband in Mexico, and someone walked by and literally doubled back and was like, and it's just always so like, hi, yeah, what? It's not it has such a dedicated fan base that it's every once in a
Mhm.
while someone will check in and say, "Are you Pam?" I'll say, "Yeah." But
Well,
it's not so often, but it does happen for
Nice.
sure.
I had to say that also. I applaud what you did in your free time to come over and assist and do volunteer work at Children's Hospital. It was so great to meet you there. And that's
Yeah.
to me one of the great benefits, that you never know who you're going to see or when you're going to meet them, and the fact that you chose in your free time to help out other families at the hospital, that is really commendable.
Well, it's something that uh I have the time, I have the means.
Hmm.
Uh it makes me feel good
Hmm.
um to not only help people but interact with people. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have make their day a little
Yeah.
easier. They make my day brighter
Hmm.
sometimes with, just like a funny interaction. Why not? Why not
Yeah.
do something nice for someone else if it's easy? It
And
is only a positive experience for everyone involved. So, um,
absolutely.
it's been an absolute pleasure. And then I get to make new friends like
I
you.
know. And that was like one of the great side benefits, is that I never would have met you. It's odd.
Oh,
Like, you never know where you're gonna meet someone, and when you do, hopefully, you make the most of it. And
Yeah.
so, I will definitely stay in contact with you
yes,
in the future, Megan. And when things start to develop, please share with us, and I'll share it with the group as well.
I
It's been
will.
great having you on.
I will.
Um, so with that, I'm going to say, sometimes, even if you're wrong, I think it's still best to walk up to that person that you think you might know and introduce yourself to them. Now, you never know if you're going to be right or if you're going to be wrong. Yet, either way, you might make a new friendship out of that meeting. And even if Megan wasn't who she is, I still would have had a wonderful conversation with her and learned so much about her just chatting, as people want to do, and that's why, you never know, we're going to meet someone on this great little home we call the planet Earth, and that's what's really special. But truly, The Simpsons caught it best in their song, "A stranger's just a friend you haven't met." And I guess that brings us to the end of another interesting interview on the Big Sci-Fi Podcast. We hope you've had as much fun listening and learning about Meghan as we did. So please, we look forward to the next episode, and we hope you'll look forward to the next episode of the Big Sci-Fi Podcast, because you never know who's going to be on next. And as always, I leave you with these parting words. Look to the skies, live long and prosper.